There are few voices as iconic and recognizable as that of James Earl Jones. His deep, commanding tone brought life to some of the most memorable characters in film history: Darth Vader from Star Wars and Mufasa from The Lion King. For decades, his voice echoed across generations, becoming a symbol of strength, wisdom, and power. But as time passed, many began to wonder what became of this legendary actor. After an incredible career spanning over 6 decades, Jones quietly stepped out of the spotlight. At the age of 93, his passing left a profound impact on fans around the world. Today we'll dive into the life, legacy, and final days of the man whose voice touched millions. What happened to James Earl Jones, and how did his story come to an end? James Earl Jones wasn't always the confident, booming voice we know today. In fact, his early years were marked by hardship and challenges. Born in Mississippi in 1931, James was raised by his grandparents after his parents separated. Life in the rural South wasn't easy, and to make things worse, he developed a severe stutter as a child. Speaking became so difficult for him that he spent years almost entirely mute, avoiding conversation because of the fear and embarrassment it caused him. But despite these struggles, James found a way to express himself through the written word. Poetry and writing became his refuge, giving him a voice on paper when he couldn't find one out loud. It wasn't until a high school teacher encouraged him to read his poems aloud that he began working on his speech. Slowly, through practice and determination, he found his voice again, this time clearer and more powerful than ever. Encouraged by a high school teacher, he rediscovered his voice and pursued acting, earning a B.A. in drama from the University of Michigan in 1953. After overcoming his stutter, James went on to study acting in college, and it wasn't long before his talent started to shine. After attending the University of Michigan, where he majored in drama, Jones served in the U.S. Army. Following his discharge, he moved to New York City to further his acting training at the American Theater Wing. To make ends meet, he worked as a janitor while pursuing his passion for performing. Jones made his off-Broadway debut in 1957 and joined the New York Shakespeare Festival from 1961 to 1973. His breakthrough role came in 1964 when he played Lieutenant Lothar Zog in Stanley Kubrick's film Dr. Strangelove. In 1968, Jones starred as boxer Jack Jefferson in the Broadway drama The Great White Hope, a performance that earned him his first Tony Award. He reprised the role in the 1970 film adaptation, receiving an Academy Award nomination. James Earl Jones' path to fame wasn't instant, but once his talent was recognized, there was no stopping him. After years of performing in theater, he transitioned to the big screen, and his powerful presence quickly caught the attention of Hollywood. But what made him stand out among so many other actors? It was his voice, deep, rich, and unforgettable. It wasn't just a voice that spoke, it was a voice that commanded attention, a voice that made you feel every word. His breakthrough came with the Broadway play The Great White Hope 1968, for which he won a Tony Award. Jones became renowned for his performances in Shakespearean roles and in August Wilson's Fences 1987, also earning a Tony for that role. His film career began with Dr. Strangelove 1964. He was cast as the voice of Darth Vader in Star Wars. His voice became the embodiment of fear and power, transforming the character into one of the greatest villains ever created. Can you imagine Star Wars without that commanding voice? It's almost impossible. But that wasn't the only legendary role he took on. A few years later, Jones voiced Mufasa, the wise and noble king in The Lion King. His performance wasn't just acting, it was storytelling at its finest. Through his voice, he brought warmth, authority, and fatherly love to life, making Mufasa a character that audiences of all ages could connect with. These two roles, Darth Vader and Mufasa, solidified James Earl Jones as a legend in the industry. His voice became more than just a tool for acting, it became a symbol of greatness. And while he remained humble and focused on his craft, the world couldn't help but notice. From that point on, Jones' voice and presence became synonymous with unforgettable storytelling, inspiring not just actors, but anyone who wanted to leave a lasting impact. By the 1980s and 90s, James Earl Jones had solidified his place as one of the most respected actors of his time. He wasn't just the voice behind legendary characters, he was a presence that spanned across film, television, and stage. His roles in Star Wars and The Lion King had made him a household name, but that was only part of his incredible journey. Jones didn't just captivate audiences, he inspired them. His ability to switch between roles with such ease, from powerful villains to nurturing father figures, showcased the range of his talent. His voice, which once struggled to come out in childhood, had now become a tool that could convey strength, wisdom, and even vulnerability. What made his career even more remarkable was his dedication to his craft. Even after achieving fame, Jones continued to work hard, perfecting his performances and taking on new challenges. He never became complacent, always pushing himself to give his best. This relentless pursuit of excellence is what truly cemented his legacy. As James Earl Jones grew older, he started to step back from the spotlight. After decades of hard work and iconic performances, it was clear that he had earned some well-deserved rest. But even in his later years, his presence remained strong. He continued to make occasional appearances in film and television, though his roles became fewer. In 2019, he reprised his role as Mufasa in the Lion King live-action remake, proving that even in his 80s, his voice still had the same power and impact. However, with age came the realization that it was time to slow down. In 2022, Jones made the decision to retire from his most famous role as the voice of Darth Vader. After more than 40 years of voicing the legendary villain, he passed the torch to younger actors who would carry on the character's legacy. But why would someone so closely tied to a role finally step away? Jones had given everything to the character, and at 91, it was time to enjoy a quieter life. In his final years, James Earl Jones remained a private person. While many actors seek the spotlight, Jones preferred a more peaceful existence, spending time with his family and reflecting on his long and successful career. There were no grand farewell tours or attention-seeking interviews, just the quiet dignity of a man who had achieved everything he set out to do. His retirement was a reminder that even legends need time to rest. For fans, it was bittersweet to see him step away, but there was comfort in knowing that his legacy would live on through his work. It's a lesson for everyone, especially creators sometimes. Knowing when to step back is just as important as knowing when to push forward. Actor James Earl Jones, an imposing stage and screen presence whose commanding voice defined Star Wars villain Darth Vader, has died. He was 93. Jones, who had diabetes for many years, died on Monday, September 9, 2024 at home, his agent Barry McPherson said. He was surrounded by family members. In 2016, he revealed that he had been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. The entertainment industry and fans worldwide mourned the loss of this legendary figure, with many paying tribute to his immense talent and impact. James Earl Jones will be remembered as one of the greatest actors in American history, whose voice and performances will continue to inspire generations to come. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the remarkable life of James Earl Jones. From overcoming personal struggles to becoming the iconic voice of characters like Darth Vader and Mufasa, his story is a testament to resilience and the power of passion. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more engaging content. We'd love to hear your thoughts. What's your favorite James Earl Jones performance? Share your memories in the comments below.